Microphone check, 1, 2, what is this? It's the 5'7" assassin in the podcast business. I am your host, Rohan Patra, the rap music plug at your service.
Here we are again at the end of a rainbow.
The Rap Music Plug podcast presented by QLC TV is the remedy to the I don't have anything good to listen to problem. Through in-depth album and song reviews, as well as artist interviews and general rap commentary sprinkled in between on all of what the mainstream and underground rap scenes have to offer, this is your one-stop shop to knowing what to add to your queue, play next, or pop into your record player. Welcome to the show. What is up, family? Today I have an incredibly intriguing record to discuss. That is Pray for Haiti by Mach-Hommy. Mach-Hommy, the once mysterious figure who only the real hip-hop heads used to know, has linked back up with Westside Gunn, releasing Pray for Haiti on Griselda Records, the first record of his on this label since his 2016 masterpiece HBO. Now in 2021, Mach has seemingly ascended to a level of fame and acclaim that is beautiful to see, truly, as even people like Drake are enjoying this album. As a Haitian rapper from Newark, New Jersey, Mach's sound has been one of a kind since day one, heavily incorporating his Haitian roots through his use of Creole, along with having just a general grittiness and uncompromising artistry that has slowly but surely cemented his place in the hip-hop canon. Buffalo rapper, Griselda label head, and master curator Westside Gunn takes the curation reins for Pray for Haiti and aim to bring his unique skills of cultivating music that exude refined street luxury to Pray for Haiti. This point in particular was something I touched on when Mach and Westside Gunn's feud officially ended with the release of Easter Gun Day 4. Where I remember specifically saying on this topic in episode 45 of this show that I was hoping West would bring that high art polish to Mach's music. Because surely Mach brings that vibe himself, but sometimes loses sight of the full picture of an album and doesn't have some of the finer details in the songwriting or the album flow taken care of in the way that Westside Gunn almost always has taken care of. And sometimes it just takes away from my enjoyment of his albums. Or he just gets kind of unfocused with his rapping. But on Pray for Haiti, I'm happy to say that I think all of the above happened as I would have hoped. West's sequencing on this album is marvelous. You have the cohesion of the conductor-produced tracks all in a row towards the first part of this album. You have Denny LaFleur beats beginning and ending the album with two of the hardest and best beats on this entire thing. And you also have subtle details like how the beat of Magnum Band and Rami back-to-back feature similarly dirty, hard drums that make those tracks flow into each other so nicely. The way this album flows is so natural, where absolutely no moment comes out of nowhere or feels out of place. This album also solidified a thought I don't think I fully, truly recognized before, which is that Mach's hook game is outstanding, and it's not something you'd really say typically about an elite lyricist, but it's true with Mach. The Stellar Ray chorus is all I need to show to prove this case, because holy crap, this chorus is absolutely marvelous. It has me always singing along to it no matter where I am. One of the best songs of the year so far, and a large part of that is due to Mach singing here. It's so catchy, it's so soulful, I just could go on and on about it. Murder Season relies heavily on melody, and I really enjoyed it. It's quite a strange hook, but it works perfectly for me. Criminel was also another beautiful hook, made even better with harmonies from the angelic Melanie Charles. If you don't know her music, go check out The Girl with the Green Shoes. It's one of the best soul records I've heard in the last 5 years. Melanie also has an even more significant contribution on the track Au Revoir, who sees her sing and likely do the flute as well because she's a talented flautist. Knowing her musical prowess, I'm sure she worked on that part. And it's just another really beautiful melodic moment on an album where I didn't really expect to get all of this, but it was definitely a nice component of this record. I think that song Au revoir, though, highlights a general gripe I have with Pray for Haiti, which is that the production just gets too airy, especially towards the end of this album. Yes, making a cohesive album that flows beautifully between track to track is obviously something I care about. You would know this if you listen to this show. And I think that's absolutely 1000% achieved here on Pray for Haiti. But picking the best type of production for the artist in question, Mach-Hommy, is something I don't think was done on this album. Yes, Mach sounds great on all of these beats, but I think the end product would have sounded even better if West would have laced Mach with some more grittier and slightly rougher instrumentals on this album. Denny LaFleur beginning and ending beats are phenomenally hard and show that perfect blend of polish and grit that I was looking more for on this album. The horns and the fat, perfectly mixed bass on 26 Letter is outstanding. The Craven-produced Criminel has this subtle but infectious groove, something Craven has mastered over the years, and shows that I wasn't simply looking for another completely rough around the edges dump god. Like, I was looking for that mix that West usually brings on his albums, where he balances the grit and the polish, and I just think it veered way too much into the polish realm. I think it's songs like No Blood, No Sweat and Folie à Deux that were just a bit too tame and simplistic for my liking. These beats don't take enough risk for me, and that's a problem for me because I really like when Mach is over riskier, more challenging production. Magnum Band, on the other hand, is something I love. A Messiah Music produced masterpiece with a twinkly piano loop over top a beefy set of drums that sound immense. Songs like Magnum Band, however, are not the norm. I really do love how Mach sounds over these more airy, melodically smooth productions, but I don't prefer this sound over the more tough, grimy sound that Mach has typically rapped over. As I mentioned earlier, with West, he has a unique ability to make his album sound both gritty and luxurious at the same time, almost always managing to find this perfect balance between the two. But I think with Pray for Haiti, he turns that knob just a bit too much into the smooth category, making an album that is sonically very similar to Pray for Paris, which West created in 2020, but with even more smoothness to it that I don't think should have been present on a Mach-Hommy album. Even when the album leans more to this typical sound that Mach has rapped over in the past, the edge and grit behind this production sometimes lacks that electric rawness that we got from Mach's previous work. Songs like Penny Rally, Folie à Deux are not bad by any means, but aren't tracks that I go back to all that much. This has nothing to do with Mach at all, really, because Mach as a whole raps exceptionally well on all of these tracks and raps exceptionally focused on all of these tracks as well. As individual components, I really like Au revoir. Melanie Charles is such a phenomenal talent and did her thing. Mach's verse was dope too, but together the song was just too slow for me. Following that track, we get the solid, but again not spectacularly produced Blockchain that was saved again by another great rapping performance. But this was just a common occurrence on this album, where I liked but wasn't in love with the production style, but found these songs were still made very enjoyable and propelled by Mach's exceptional lyricism. On Pray for Haiti, Mach is in absolute top form, not only dropping some incredible wordplay, but he has a consistent topical focus that is very impressive. Pray for Haiti explores his Haitian heritage, puts it on display, incorporates some of its language into the music as well, which I think was really impressive and I think overall was really consistently done in a really tasteful way. But when it comes just to the bars, man, Mach never stopped dropping some heat. No moment more impressive than Stellar Ray Theory. Once again, one of the best tracks I've heard all year. I mentioned the melodic beauty of this song already, but the verses are also so on point. There's an unbelievable flow, clear lyricism that tackles his rise to greatness and the sense of confidence he has in how he's handled his business throughout the years. Something that he's dug into more and more, especially since the release of Mach's Hard Lemonade. The intro track is also absolutely phenomenal. The flow he has on this is crazy, and he drops so many nice bars here. Marie is a brilliant display of how Mach makes a love song about a girl so damn special. He spits so many slick and intricate rhymes that it just comes off so cool, while remaining smooth and catchy, with another really catchy hook sung by Mach that I think goes over very, very well. On Magnum Band, he has a crazy bar where he raps, "How many more rappers will my K-Swiss? Cheese, bitch, please, I hold the keys to people's greatness." Thought that was super clever. On No Blood, No Sweat, Mach has a line where he says, "Oh word, your rap's braggadocious. Put this 38 in your mouth. Go ahead and spit your magnum opus." This is top tier lyricism. And Mach really never stops. There's no whack lines. There's no whack verses. Mach really brought it. With some pretty solid Westside Gunn features that added a nice change of pace to the record that I would be remiss if I didn't mention. This confident and exceptional lyricism from Mach certainly compensates for some less than amazing or engaging production at times on this record, particularly on a song like No Blood, No Sweat that I wasn't in love with production-wise. I really did like this album, but I guess it just lacks a bit of an it factor in this production that takes some of my enjoyment away from it. It's funny because Pray for Haiti actually remedies the main gripes I had with Mach's previous album, Mach's Hard Lemonade, which I did love quite a bit. It's longer, it's more complete, but I think it goes too far in the polished direction for my liking. Mach himself absolutely killed this album though, and genuinely, this is one of his best rapping performances I've ever heard from him. I just think West could have chosen a grittier set of instrumentals for him to rap over, as these beats sort of washed over me a bit too much and didn't blend enough grittiness into this luxurious and smooth, clean sound. So in terms of my overall enjoyment of this record, I'm feeling roughly the same as I did with Mach's Hard Lemonade, and I give Pray for Haiti a high 7 to a low 8. I think Pray for Haiti is Mach's most complete record I've heard from him, but I think the production just didn't have enough bite for me to truly want to go back to these set of songs. So this concludes today's episode of the Rap Music Plug podcast presented by QLC TV. I hope this episode gave you some fresh new perspectives on the latest rap releases, as well as a recommendation for the next great rap record to add to your collection. If you're an artist looking to level up your career, getting more gigs, album sales, merch sales, whatever it may be, I would love to help you with that by providing you artist development and writing services. So if you're interested, contact me via email at qlctv.podcast@gmail.com or hit me up via Twitter or Instagram at Rohview, ROHVIEW. I would be honored to lend my expertise and help you grow your career as an artist. And also for regular rap fans that just want to hear more quality commentary on the genre, follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. For exclusive content and updates related to the show, follow the Rap Music Plug podcast on Facebook to help the show grow and ensure that everyone's listening to the best rap music at all times. Follow the show on the podcast platform of your choice. Make sure you leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts so that the show can be spotlighted by that wonderful algorithm and be exposed to more people. You can find all of this information along with exclusive playlists created by myself by clicking the link that's in the episode's notes. So that's all for today. Talk to you soon. Peace.